Jonnie, I appreciate you sitting down.
Yeah.
Of course. So I'm only going to ask you a couple questions. I know you got a lot of stuff to do today. First thing I want to ask you, and Tony kind of touched on this as well. Not many people get to go into the Hall of Fame as a player, and then to go in as a front office personnel and a GM, and then to go in as a third time.
Yeah.
Your dad's the only person to ever do that. What did that mean to him? What did that mean to you all as a family as well?
Well, I think one thing that gets overlooked about his career is his time with Team USA and winning a gold medal. That was always nothing to take away from his NBA career and everything else that he did, but representing his country was always something that meant a lot to him. He had a brother that was killed in Korea, so there was a lot of meaning behind that. So that was special, but obviously to be recognized as a player and the career that he had, and then as an executive. But it's to be in 3 times is something that is just, it's hard to even express, but it speaks to the career that he had and what he was able to do with basketball.
Everyone kind of knows your dad, especially now, people who didn't get to see him play, as the logo. I know your dad was very humble, was a very private person, but did he ever kind of let on what that meant to him to be kind of remembered in that way?
The logo thing was funny. He hated being recognized as the logo. It was something that he was always uncomfortable with. He has such respect for players that played before him, played after him, and he always just wanted it to be somebody else. But I think it's a amazing recognition to his career and what he meant to the league at a time that was, obviously growing as a league, and then went through a rough patch and then exploded again in the 80s with Bird and Magic. But it's an amazing honor to be able to have that, right? To have you're the logo of an entire league. It's beyond him. The logo in itself is iconic, and for an absolutely amazing league that the NBA is.
What did WVU and then what did the state of West Virginia mean to your dad?
Yeah, it meant everything, and I don't say that lightly. Like it really is. West Virginia was everything to him. It was his home. It was who he really was as a person. It was where he grew up and developed and became the person that he was. And it was a place that never left him. His values, who he was as a person, it was exactly his upbringing here and a representation of what West Virginia is and the people of this state as well.
Ren announced a little while ago that WVU is going to retire his number across all sports. What do you think that would have meant to your dad? What does that mean to you all and your family?
I mean, to me, to our family, it's an extremely touching honor, and just shows the impact that he had here, right? Not just this university, but the state in general. He always discussed, West Virginia was his charity of choice. He didn't like to give to a lot of different places, but giving here was very important to him. Helping people that were in his shoes, the same shoes as him growing up, somebody that came from nothing and made a lot of his life, and he was proud of that. And he was proud to represent the state of West Virginia. So I think that honor would have meant a lot to him.
2 more here for you, then I'll let you go. You have the unique ability, or had the unique ability, of playing here, not only after your dad, but after your dad was so great here. What did that mean to you? I mean, how special was that to have that unique bond, truly unique, with your dad?
Yeah, growing up, we spent a lot of time in West Virginia, and it was a place that, obviously wasn't home in the sense that it was for him, but it was a place that I started to feel a deep connection to at an early age. And when I had the opportunity to come here, it was such an easy choice. Means everything and meant everything to me to be able to represent the state and try and represent it in a great way. And it's something that'll never leave you. You talk about it a lot when you're a student athlete here, but you truly are, once you come here, once you put on the gold and blue and have the flying WV across your chest, you truly are a Mountaineer for life and a West Virginian for life too. So I something that I hold with a lot of pride and try and represent all the time.
Last one here for you. What made your dad so great? As someone who had obviously some inside knowledge of your dad and knew him on a different level than so many other people did, what made Jerry West just so great in seemingly everything he did?
I think he was somebody who had very strong belief in what he believed in. He had conviction. He always stayed true to what he believed in and was never scared to make big decisions. He was a very nurturing person, would do anything that he could to help, whether that was with his time, teaching, financially. He cared a lot about people and cared a lot about helping people. So it was, I think that's what made him great. He had an unbelievable competitive drive that, I think is probably the number one reason why he became who he did. But it was also his belief and his conviction and trusting his instincts and never afraid to make a big decision.
Jonnie, thank you so much.
No
Really
problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great meeting you too.
Nice